happening, bro?
How you doing?
Yo, what's going on? First of all, before we start, hand claps all around. Hand claps all around. Mr. DeLeon TyeSkie
How you
in the
doing?
building. Did I say it right, TyeSkie?
TyeSkie.
TyeSkie, I like it, TyeSkie.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bodie put me on to you, man, and I took a listen to some of your stuff, and I'm very, very impressed, man. You know
Appreciate
what I mean? So I see you have like an upbringing in soul music and all that. So before we get into that, let's start off with the basics, man. This is the 1's, 2's podcast. You know, if you guys don't already know, I always put on artists, business people, creatives all over, man. Make sure to follow TyeSkie. I'm going to put all this information in the description below. So let's get to it. Step one, man. Tell us, where you from, bro?
Man,
Where'd you get that soulful voice from? Where you from?
I was born and raised, man, Dallas, Texas, man.
Oh, snap.
In
Cowboys.
South Oak Cliff High School, Cowboy fan, all
Okay. So is it like a must that you have to be a Cowboy fan if you're born and raised in Dallas?
Definitely.
Really?
I mean,
Okay.
like if you're not a Cowboy fan, hey, whatever your team is, just move to that city, move to that city.
Yeah, because I've been seeing like a lot of because I know the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're like considered like the cousins of the Cowboys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the Eagles, I think also there's a lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans out here too.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, y'all born and raised in Dallas, but y'all be rocking the green a little bit too much. I'm like, okay. Yeah, when they get that ring, let's see if y'all be rocking that green. Y'all probably gonna switch up to that blue and silver. You know what I mean? So, okay, so Dallas, Texas. So, what was it like growing up in Dallas for you, man?
Oh man, it was cool, man. Like I said, I've been here pretty much all my life. This was majority of my family, was born and raised there. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Okay, so like when it comes to music, when did you get your start? Like, what made you want to just get into music?
Oh man. Okay, so I did a talent show, man. 6th grade.
Okay.
And I remember singing "Jealous Girl." It was a remake by Another Bad Creation.
Okay.
Of course, New Edition
Mm-hmm.
was the original, but it was Another Bad Creation. I remember doing that song on the talent show. And man, it was funny because at the time, me and my 6th grade girlfriend had just broken up.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
And I ended up singing that song, man. I'm talking about the ladies went crazy. So I was like, dang, so I guess I may have something,
Yeah.
I did that, and I started recording professionally at the age of 16. So
Okay. Yeah, so you've been doing it for a good minute. So when you first started singing, you said you were in the 6th grade. So if you could sing in 6th grade and just wow everybody at that age, you must have been singing a little bit younger than that too to get your voice ready for it, right?
That's I originally started singing at the age of 7.
Wow.
But I really just knew what I really wanted to do, like,
Yeah.
Great. But yeah, I started singing, in church.
Yeah.
7 years old, and I ended up leading a song in church, man, and the old mothers started shouting. My grandmother started shouting, and
yeah.
Man, so I may have a little something,
Yeah.
The church mama, you probably got a little something. So.
Oh yeah.
I started pretty young.
Yeah, that's my baby. They'd be like, "That's my baby up there, TyeSkie." So when you're in church, man, what was the go-to song when you're in church? What was like that song that you sang in church just made him be like, "Oh man, this boy right here."
Oh man, well, of course, as I started getting older, it was like, I Won't Complain.
Mm-hmm.
Songs like that. I had good days, I had some bad days. It was songs like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was more like my go-to.
Yeah, so I was thinking like maybe you were like you probably did This Little Light of Mine. It's like, man, this boy killing it right here. You know what I'm saying? And he moves on, to the floodgates and all that. But that's pretty good, man. I feel like a lot of musicians that really have a soulful voice. I think most of them, yeah, I would say pretty much all of them got their start from the church. They have some church gospel roots. you know, honestly, I can't think of any soul artist that's actually good that
Mhm.
doesn't have roots from the church. And you know, I think that says a lot, that the church definitely speaks volumes when it comes to real talent, because like you're saying, singing the type of music you do, bro, that's not easy. You know what I mean? And I feel like you can't even really, you could train it, but it has to come from like the soul. You know, it really has to come from that soul. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so 16 years old, and I see that you got signed to a label. Was that at 16 or was that later on?
No, no, I'm not signed. I just signed a distribution deal with Sony. With
Okay.
single. So I'm still independent. Everything on the independent level.
Right.
Did a distribution deal.
Okay. So like 16 years old, now you're getting in the studio. Now we're starting to get the headphones on, get into the whole mechanics of creating an album. So when you were 16, is that when you started working on like your first single, your first album, or?
Yeah, yeah. When I was 16, yeah,
Okay.
a guy named Stanley. I never forget his name, Stanley Watkins. Man, I started off in a garage. Man,
Yeah.
I started working with him. I think at the time, I think his label was called MID Productions.
Mm.
So I started working with him. I actually went in with a group. It was like four of us.
Mm-hmm.
And because I always like those harmonies, man. Dealing with Boys to Men and Jodeci and stuff like that. So I went in with a group, and he called me. He called me one day. And he said, I'm gonna be honest with you. He was like, you need to go solo.
Mm.
So he was like, man, I'm looking at all your group members, but he was like, he said, you have the look, you have the total package. You got the look, that ladies like. You got that R&B swag. So
Yeah.
but it's crazy because I didn't take heed until I got to like my late 20s and 30s. So I spent
Mm.
all that time, still trying to do the group thing and, realizing that, people don't have the same passion, as you.
Mm.
And I mean, it took me a minute, man. So I've been solo for a while now. So I can't turn back now.
Yeah. I think that's a good experience to have, man, because it's like at such a young age, I can understand you probably thinking, no, these are my boys. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all
Right.
haven't really been through a
Right.
lot of ups and downs yet, but somebody with experience is already seeing, hey, you the Omarion right here. You know what I mean? You the Omarion, you know what I'm saying? You the Justin Timberlake, and I can clearly see it. So I don't know, that's kind of tough because I think with other groups, with major labels, I think they could see that too. But I think maybe, I don't know, it's different because I like seeing the groups. I don't know, it's just something about when you see a group
Yeah,
on stage, whether it's, B2K,
right.
Backstreet Boys, or Cisco's group. I forgot the name of his group.
Oh, Drew Hill.
Drew Hill. Whether you see Drew Hill, it just looks good when you got a group on there and they have that. They're just in sync.
Yeah.
But, sometimes, as you can see with Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, and all them, when they go solo, it's like they really could just exercise those ranges a lot more freely. And it's like, I don't know, it's just different. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think it should be more groups, or do you think artists should just, if they know that they got it, they should just go solo?
I think it should be a mixture of both.
Hmm.
Oh, because I mean, the groups is, what it was, man. So and I mean, I've always had this thing like, because I'm very shy. People don't know that about me. Very, very shy. So I had this thing of just being up there by myself, man. And so I want to, be able to look to my left and see one of my boys, or look to my right. But I mean, yeah, but I think we need a mixture of both, man. You got to know when it's time to go ahead and break off and do your own thing. But I
Hmm.
both.
Okay. So like who would be like your favorite group that kind of inspired y'all to start your group?
Back then,
Hmm.
I started a group at a young age,
Yeah. So who
and
was the inspiration at that time?
yeah, we were young, man. I mean, I started a group to kind of keep us out of trouble.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, we started singing, man. So, but back then when I was coming up, I mean, it was more like like the Drew Hills,
Hmm.
the Jodeci,
That's a big one.
Jodeci, Boys to Men.
Oh yeah.
It was groups like that that kind of inspired me to go ahead and
Okay.
start my own group.
And I think every single group where Boys to Men, did anybody go solo in that group? I think they're still a group solid, right?
No, they still a group.
Yeah.
They're still a group.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, but yeah, like you said, you named some of those groups.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they have those voices to where, I mean, one Ye, he can go solo. If you want to do a solo project.
Mhm.
So I mean, they had that type of sound where all those guys really could sing.
Right. Right.
See, that's the difference.
Yeah. So when you're with a group of people that are different, what's it like? Because I know, and we keep it nitty gritty on here, right? So
Yeah.
I know when you in a group and you know that Homeboy's range ain't hitting the C sharps like it should be. How is it like working it? Because I've never been in a group where we all do the same instrument. We're all singing. I've been in a band where I was a drummer, guitar player, this and that. So I can't tell the guitar player, hey, maybe you need to do your string. You know what I mean? But we all singing. So hey, man, you ain't hitting the C sharp.
Right.
How about you, when we come in on this verse, maybe you kind of,
Yeah.
how's it like working with a group like that? You know what I mean? I know it's got to be tough.
It's very, very tough, but here's what a lot of people don't know. When you're working with a group like, and you're working with a dope producer or a dope engineer,
Mm-hmm.
what they would do, they would really take the artist that has the best vocals, and they will blend all their voices together, and then you may be thinking, oh, they sound really good, but actually just one person. So I mean, I've been in situations where they just actually just turn their mic down and just our voice on there. So
and what they have to say about that, your group members?
I mean,
and we keep it nitty gritty, man.
I mean, it's cool. I've had situations where I've heard the little side talk. Oh, he think they feel like he's the star. In reality, like I'm not gonna say I was, but I put in the most work.
And it showed.
I was serious about it.
Yeah.
So I mean that was the difference.
Yeah. I feel like you just got to put in the work, because I feel like when you're working with a team, you got to go the hardest, and then everybody else should be trying to go harder than you. So it's kind of like y'all pull each other up. You know what I mean? That's why one reason I think a lot of hip hop groups especially don't exist nowadays, because one person shines and everybody else just eats off that one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I've seen groups where somebody blows up off of one song. Next thing you know, the two people in the background, now all of a sudden they became like the promoter. You know what I mean? Like they're not writing in, you know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of weird. That's why I like the Migos. And I guess it's kind of different with them because they're all related. You know what I mean? But you could just tell that they sparring with each other. Like Quavo do this, Takeoff's gonna come harder. Offset's gonna come harder. And I feel like, yeah, just like you said, you gotta, even if you are an individual in a group, you gotta just go hard. Even if you got other people with you, you just gotta go hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, so we got some songs that you wrote. We're gonna get to that a little bit later. But tell us about this right here. You got a single called "Gotta Be," and it reached #1 on Spotify. So when was it #1 on Spotify? Because that's a big accomplishment, by the way. So give some horns for that. That's awesome.
Man, that happened like months and months ago, and I was able to.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, man, that happened like months ago, man, and I contacted the people who make the plaques, and of course they verified. They went and they verified, and they was like, man, like they was looking at my numbers, and I actually qualified, and I mean they called it. I guess I went platinum.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
That happened a few months ago, man. I was very, very excited about that. But that was a mixture of pretty much all the songs that I have on there. Because I only released singles. I didn't release an album. It kind of like, totaled up all my, the streams that I have, and that's how I got my.
Okay. You think you're ever going to make an album sometime soon? Because you say you never released the album yet.
I've never released the album. I actually was working on my album.
Uh-huh.
And then I just started just releasing singles.
Mm.
I pretty much have an album. My album is done.
Yeah.
Never released it. I just took singles off the album,
Uh-huh.
started releasing like that.
Yeah, I think that's like the new wave now because a lot of people kind of digest music a little differently.
Yeah,
And, if not an album, maybe it could be like an EP, like a 6, 7 track kind of thing.
yeah,
But yeah, as far as like back in the day, the Drew Hill days and all that, them 25, 30 track albums,
yeah,
which those would be bumping because it's like you would hear this, you would just can play it all day
yeah,
and you just digest. And I think that's why we really know and love the Frankie Beverly and
yeah,
Mays because you would just digest it for days and days. Now it's just like maybe a good 30 minutes. You got an album, good 30. I think it's interesting. I do miss those days of full albums though. I
yeah,
think it was like they kind of painted it was almost like an audio movie. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Some songs are bad, a lot of songs are good, but it was like it was like a story,
yeah, of course.
So maybe one day we'll get back to that. I don't know.
We
I hope so.
we'll see. We'll see. The music industry has changed so much, man. It's
Yeah.
much. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we definitely will. So, it has changed and you've been in the days where we had the CDs and
Yeah,
then we had now we had like the music where you can download it and
yeah.
put on your device, whatever. And now we got streaming where you don't have to download it. You just go to an app and use it.
That's,
So how do you feel about that? Do you think it's a good progression in music or do you think we're kind of regression a little bit?
I think it's kind of a mixture of both.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I like the streaming myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I like,
see that you got the plaque.
yeah, I like the streaming stuff. It gives independent artists like me a chance.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a mixture of both.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you say independent. Do you think you would ever sign to a label if they offered it? If the price was right and they're like, yo, TyeSkie, come on, man. We join, assimilate.
Man, I mean, it'll be kind of tough,
Mm,
because when you're dealing with those record labels, they, oh man,
yeah.
they change you.
Yeah.
They change you a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Type of music that I'm used to writing.
mm-hmm.
Saying so, I mean it. I'm not. I mean it. We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. I think it's interesting you mentioned that they changed because I think the record labels have definitely changed and, just totally shifted the direction of music now, and everything seems to be in like one big melting pot. I listen to country music, it's got hip hop in it. I listen to pop music, it's got country, it's got all different types of elements in it, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like the way the music has shifted, we kind of lost that soul in the R&B side of music. You know what I mean? Like you type in R&B, top R&B music, you're not going to see somebody that sounds like a Luther Vandross or something. It's like a Chris Brown or maybe like a Miguel, or you might see something that's just totally not R&B, like Future got R&B songs.
Right.
And I'm just like, I mean, he's technically singing, but it's not, the R&B soul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that being said, everybody yearns for that. When I DJ gigs every weekend, the Frankie Beverly, Tevin Campbell,
Yeah.
Alicia Keys, they request that stuff. And it's always like, when I drop it, you can just see the emotions being like, oh man, we dancing, we grooving. And I'm like, man, this ain't even on the radio no more on a consistent basis. I was like, man, they're not making new music like this. So do you think soul music, real R&B, is gonna make a comeback? Do you think there's hope for it?
I'm not gonna say it's gonna make a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of hope.
Okay.
It's a little bit of hope, but I mean I don't know. Again, it's changed so much because we don't have real R&B no more.
Yeah.
There's no real R&B, man. So,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody got the auto tunes, and
Mm.
me personally, I mean, when I perform, I mean, I'm used to performing without auto tune. you know, without lead vocals. You know, go out there and sing and, you know, let the people hear you, you know, hear
Yeah.
God. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's just so much unchanged. I mean, that's just like saying, do we think we'll ever come back? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of sad because every time I talk to R&B artists, I always ask them that, you know, especially people like yourself that really take it seriously. And I'm like, man, I wonder if what they think about that question. Do they think it's really going to return? Because it seems like R&B singers now is like, they're kind of rare. It's like if you know a good R&B singer, he's like that guy. And back in the days, to be like a whole bunch of people, you had to cut through everybody to figure out who to pick, you know, for a gig. But now it's like, we got the R&B singer, and everybody's just like you said, on auto-tune, saturated vocals and stuff like that. And I'm just like, man. So I think a little bit of hope.
A little bit
I
of
think Giveon, Daniel Caesar, um, man, that's all I could think of, man. As far as like the new school, see, that's just two people. That's not enough,
right. It's not enough.
man.
It's
Well,
not.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's good that we got people like you still keeping it alive, man. Still doing very damn well. As you can see, my man went platinum on Spotify. So, you know, R&B ain't dead.
Nah.
It's just kind of, you know, we're going to bring it up because TyeSkie is part of that pioneership that's going to bring it back to sale. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to follow my boy TyeSkie in the description below. So, speaking of R&B music, man, you sent me a couple songs. I want to get into those, man. So if you guys are listening right now, you're about to get an exclusive listen to some of TyeSkie's music, man. You sent me 2 songs, and I'm just going to play, you know, one of them, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to get a little taste, man. Is that cool with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we good.
All right, all right. If you guys are tuning in right now, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure, first of all, to follow my boy TyeSkie. His description, his information will be in the description below. Y'all check this joint on my boy Simi. Before we get into it, this joint's called "I'm Sorry." Okay, now this kind of takes me back to what you said about 6th grade when your girl broke up. Now, by the way, when your girl broke up with you, was it your fault?
Man, you know what? It was
It was your. Come on.
it was one of them. Yeah, it was my fault.
Okay, so is this an apologetic song? Kind of get the girl back.
Yeah, it's one of those songs.
All right, man, let's get into it. This is "I'm Sorry" by Mr. TyeSkie. Let's get it.
You got me saying, when was the last time you told me you loved me? And when was the last time you showed you care? I feel like I'm losing you to another man. Is it someone else? Tell me. Maybe I do what I gotta do to make it right, baby. Yeah. I don't wanna lose you, no, no, no.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I'm sorry, baby. Yeah. 'Cause I can't go on without you in my life. I'm sorry, baby. Oh, gotta win.
Whoa, whoa. Did y'all hear that right there, man? Oh, man. Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
That was good. That sounds. It definitely sounds like it can get a lot of spins, and I definitely see why you got that plaque, bro. It's just like, and you said you use raw vocals.
All raw, all raw, all raw.
Wow. Bro, like you definitely got that voice, man, and I can definitely see that if you guys get this song right now, it's called "I'm Sorry" by Mr. TyeSkie. Is it out right now?
Oh yeah, it's out, man. That song just September September 19th. It's
Okay.
number one on iTunes.
So you know what that means. This is a number one song. If you guys done fucked up with your girl, you got the medicine right here. I'm Sorry by Mr. TyeSkie. Man, so tell me, of course, it's like an I'm sorry song. I get the gist of the lyrics and everything, and I can feel the soul in it. So who was this song for, man?
The song wasn't it wasn't for anybody, but I will tell you this. Sometimes you can mess up with a female so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like you can mess up with her so bad, and you can say I'm sorry. You can do all of that stuff, and it's still not enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that there is a twist to that song. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, she didn't take me back. All that singing, but there is a twist to that song.
Okay. Hey, well, you guys have to hear the full song. Make sure y'all go download it. I Am Sorry by Mr. TyeSkie. I'm going to put the song description in the link below. I know I fucked that up. I'm going to put the link to the song in the description below. I always mess up that saying. But let's get into one more song. Now, this one's called Come Over. Okay, so now I'm kind of seeing how your songs kind of stack together like Legos right here, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. Now, if she forgives you, come over.
I can come over.
Okay. See, y'all see it? Okay, y'all missing this right here, bro. You see how my man the songs come together like Legos. I'm sorry. Okay, she forgave me. Here's another one. Come over. So when you come over, then you kind of hit him with a little something like this right here.
Can I come over so I can give this love of mine tonight? Can I come over and I can do the things you like tonight? Girl, it's been such a long time since I held you in my arms all night. It's what I've been missing. No pressure, but you're looking kind of fly. Girl, I gotta make you mine. Come on, so I can give this love of mine tonight. Can I come on and I can do the things you like tonight? Body's calling for something stronger than we can keep inside.
Uh-oh. Y'all know what that is. Hey.
Feels when I'm next to you, this could all be true for more than a night.
Uh-oh.
So open up your arms for me, baby.
Oh, man. I'm feeling that one. Yo. You know what? I like that you you gave me a mix. You gave me something real soulful. I mean, it's both soul, but you gave me something that's like real, like a ballad. And then you hit me with some groove. And I was like, bro, you see how soul music is so versatile, man? I love it, bro. So in my head, I'm thinking what the song may be about and how it was, how it was originated. But tell us, man, what was the purpose behind this song, and who was this for?
Oh man! Again, it originally, it wasn't for anybody.
Yeah.
The question was asked to me the other day. What inspired you to write? To be honest, I'm inspired every day. I don't have to be inspired. To write music. You know what I'm saying? So, I was just driving one day, man, and the hook just came to my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that type of person. The hook just came to my head. I just started singing.
Yeah.
Nobody really inspired it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really, go through anything, to come up with the song, but you know, I'm inspired every day, man. Music inspired me.
Yeah.
So that's how they came about.
I love it, man. And I feel like these two songs you sent me, I feel like they definitely relate with a lot of people's situations. You know what I mean? Like you said, there wasn't a specific situation that made you want to write those songs, but man, anybody going through it, you know, just the title, they listen to the song, the lyrics, and they could just relate like, man, I want her to come over. And this, my man TyeSkie saying the words that I can't say. He singing the melodies I can't sing. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna play his music and make it happen. I'm like, yo, this the R&B music I feel is like you know, musical medicine in a way. You know what I mean? Like that
Oh, yeah.
rhythm and blues.
Oh, yeah.
They call it rhythm and blues, but it's kind of funny because it'd be like the most, you know, back in the day, you know, like the Howlin' Wolf days and all that.
Mhm.
Rhythm and blues was like, you know, BB King days. It's like, you know, everybody's kind of depressed and all that, but that blue music come on, no matter how slow and wangy it sound, it just make you want to like get up and, you know, go to the juke joint. Is
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's like, bro, it's crazy how the R&B, you could take a bad situation, sadness, breakups, you know, all that kind of stuff and mix it into music to kind of uplift the soul. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what makes music very magical, man. And I definitely see that you have that taste in it, man. That's really good. So lots of talent, as we could clearly see, lots of accomplishments, as we could clearly see. So as far as your career, what has been like the highest moment in your career so far?
So far, I just showed you, you know, my Spotify plat. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Being that, you know, I did that on my own,
Mm,
you know, without any major label.
mm,
You know, I did that as an independent artist, and you know, I did it, you know, to encourage, you know, other artists that, you know, this can be done.
mm,
Sometimes, you know, people think you have to be with a major label in order to get noticed.
mm,
But I did this, you know, as an independent artist, you know, so
mm,
that was the highest moment for me, but you know, because I did that on my own. You know, I have fans, you know, I have supporters. I,
mm.
there's millions of people have listened to my music.
Yeah,
So that's enough for me.
man. I bet that's just like a good feeling. You just feel so exuberated,
That's
like,
enough for me, man.
whoo, that gives you goosebumps, man.
I got my Apple plaque, my iTunes plaque on the way. You know,
Oh,
another one, man. So I'm excited.
boy, that's just God, man. And that's a huge blessing, man. And like you said, if y'all are listening, man, TyeSkie has done it by himself, independent artist, man. And you know, another guy that was independent that was very well known was you know, young gentleman that recently passed, Young Dolph, and he always preached that about being independent. You know, shouts out Paper Route Entertainment. I didn't know that was a purely entertainment label as well. And just like you doing, you getting the plaques, you're getting the recognition, and you're showcasing your talent on your own. You know, we clearly can see it could be taken to a huge scale, just like, you know, Dolph did. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think independent is the way to go, man. You clearly are showing it, man. I think that's really cool, bro. I know it's hard work, but
Oh
like
yeah,
you said earlier, they're not gonna change you, man.
yeah.
So that's really cool, man. So in the independent realm, you know, it's a lot of stuff that goes on, you know, there's a lot of business that you gotta do and you gotta handle it yourself.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, dealing with people in the industry and whatnot, it's a lot. You know, even when it comes to your shows that you performed over your career, right? So out of all that, what would you say has been like the craziest moment in your independent career? Just something that was just like, man, I can't believe that really just happened. I'm not talking about, it don't have to be like, you know, the plaque and then it
Right.
could be just something like really like that.
You know, it's you know, the crazy to me is now I'm starting to see people put my profile pic as their background.
Oh, wow.
And that's exciting to me too, because I mean, I can just be some, you know, be on Facebook or IG, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like, is that me? So, I mean, you know, I mean, like, I love Mr. TyeSkie, you know, I mean, it's crazy, man. So I mean, it's crazy, you know, seeing people actually doing stuff like that. So
Mm.
that would be it.
Okay, so like you were just scrolling through. So when you see people doing that, I mean, do you like hit them in the DM, say thank you for your support? You just kind of like scroll on past and
Stuff like that. Because, I run all my pages.
right.
I mean, I hit them up and, I thank them for their support and stuff like that. Actually, man, I had to hit this couple up, a few months ago. Someone got married.
Oh wow,
Yeah, because I did a song called "Marry Me"
wow,
with a young lady by the name of Vicky Monroe. She was signed to Avant. So yeah, so I did a song with her, and man, that song, man. So they ended up getting married to the song, and that song got about 60, 70,000 views off them getting married to the song.
dang.
So man, I kind of like looked them up, and I'm like, who is this? And I saw them, and they had, they were dressed in in their tuxedos, and she had her dress on, and it said featuring Mr. TyeSkie. I'm like, what is that? It was overwhelming, man. So I looked them up, and I inboxed them, and I told him, I'm like, wow, like, I mean, hey, I'm Mr. TyeSkie. He was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. I said, man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, getting married to my song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's really big because Avant, I think he's from Ohio, right?
I'm not.
Yeah, Avant, yeah, he's got the song called 24 or something like that. I don't know, but I remember listening to him on the radio, Tom Joyner, but that's really cool. You know what? When I hear about stuff like that, like artists who are actually deep in the industry, who are using independent artist music, and like you say, you didn't even know about it until you looked it up and you have to inbox him. It just goes to show that even though these artists are like so deep in the industry, they have plenty of other R&B folks that probably could make a "I'm Getting Married" song, but
Yeah.
they chose your song because obviously it was better than anything they could choose from. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, keep posting, keep putting your music up if you independent, because somebody is eventually gonna hear you. You know what I mean? If it's good, it's gonna be heard, and it's clearly evident because you got picked up, got them views, and they use your song for a marriage. Like y'all understand. I DJ a lot of weddings. That's a big deal. Those 3 minutes
Yeah.
is a big deal, man. And bro, for you to get that
Like,
stamp on there,
It's like
oh, hold on.
That's like one of my classmates. She actually
Oh,
she actually walked down the aisle to my song.
oh, wow.
It's been crazy, man.
Man, bro, that's a blessing. And it's good to hear that you, of course, are independent doing this, man. So as far as like music, I see that you're still rolling, still keeping it going, man. So what do we have coming up next? I know we have the pandemic is kind of, I mean, are you living in Texas?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas. Uh-huh.
Okay. So you're still in Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so I was going to ask you about that. So you're still living in Dallas, but you are independent. I feel like, a lot of people, even though they are independent, they still kind of want those connections.
Oh, yeah.
And this is something that I kind of was, thinking about doing too. But do you think you would ever move out of Dallas to go to like Atlanta, New York, California, maybe Houston, something like that?
I'm not for sure, but if
Okay.
I was to move to a place, it would definitely either be Atlanta or LA. I mean,
Yeah.
music scene there is crazy. I'll be in Atlanta next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be doing. I have a show down there on December 5th. So
Nice.
yeah, Atlanta, man. When I tell you they love R&B, real.
Yeah.
R&B.
Hmm.
If I was to move somewhere, it'll probably be something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. I've been asking a lot of other artists that because I'm kind of struggling with it for myself as a DJ,
Yeah.
trying to figure out should I stay in Dallas? Should I go to Houston? Should I go to Cali? But I don't know, it's kind of different because I have my roots so deep into Dallas and I'm getting my money here and it's like, oh man, I think I should jump unless I really, get my roots kind of started somewhere else. But I think with you, your music is already being heard around the world. Like you got millions of people around the world hearing your stuff. And that is a huge thing, man. So that's really cool, man. Have you ever had somebody just walk up to you out of nowhere and be like, yo, Mr. TyeSkie? You're like,
I've had that several times, man.
yo, that's what's up.
Yeah.
How's it feel, man? Like you're pretty much an upcoming megastar.
I mean, it feels good,
Hmm.
I mean, it's crazy because, it was never about the fortune or fame for me. Never been about that. All I want to do is sing. That's it.
Right.
But I know that, the fame and all that stuff come with it. But I mean, I that's just not what I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool, having these, different people come up to me, man.
Okay. So I got a couple last questions. So you said that I think you said you might be working on another album or not an actual album in the future.
Eventually I may do an album.
Okay.
Like, pretty much my album, if I was to release an album right now, my album is done. But the thing is that I've just been releasing singles.
Yes, it's the singles, right?
I mean, I probably have about maybe 6 to 7 songs out, and maybe 8 or 9 or 10 I haven't even released yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I pretty much have an album, but I'll probably end up doing like an EP or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as like, I was gonna say, as far as like venues, I don't really know a lot of venues in Dallas that have just R&B music.
No.
So if you could share with us, what would be, if I'm coming to Dallas, I've never been to Dallas, like, somebody that's coming into town and they want to hear some good R&B music, where could they go in Dallas?
Some good R&B music.
Yeah, like some good live R&B music, like somewhere where they can see someone like yourself perform in Dallas.
I mean, it's funny that you asked that question, because personally, I really don't do a lot in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a hip hop. Of a hip hop city. It's a lot of rappers, and I mean, it's cool, but it's not my scene.
Right.
I mean, you may have some, some places you can go, they listen to jazz or something like that. But for us, like R&B,
yeah,
I haven't. If it is, I will be there.
Yeah.
So I haven't, came across anything like that. But I mean, there's different places you can go to, to kind of listen to some, some laid back, music, jazz and stuff like that. But just
right.
R&B, like real R&B.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about it.
You might be one of the pioneers to bring that to the forefront in Dallas, man. I'm dead serious, man. Like that might be a thing. I know the music scene in Dallas is already kind of like iffy. We got the Darrell, Young Nation. I think Mo3 kind of put it, Mo3, Post Malone, Tay Money, all them, whatever. But that's all rap. I think once Mr. TyeSkie starts getting up there, already got 1 million. Next, he about to get 3 million, 5, 10, 20. Bro, you're just growing. I think they're going to be like, bro, we got to represent R&B in Dallas, Mr. TyeSkie.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I heard, bro, like that's really cool. And I think that's what we are definitely missing on the radio. I'm going to be dead honest. Oh, I'm keeping nitty gritty on here, man.
Let's go.
I'm tired. And I love listening to the 105.7, because that's like the go-to for all our people, right? Mm-hmm. I just hate hearing the same R&B songs over and over and over and over. I was like, we got so much out here we could put on. TyeSkie, we got my man Omar Wilson was on earlier. It's like, bro, like I know y'all can throw something different on there, bro. It seemed like the songs go like clock. It's even worse than the 97.9s and the 104s. It's like I could kind of predict, okay, around 8:20 in the morning, they're gonna be Erykah Badu, Tyrone. At 8:45, it's gonna be window seat. Let's see, at 9:30, it's probably gonna be some. I think that Jill Scott. Yeah, it's that Jill Scott song. Okay, yeah. And I'm just like, man, we got so much more R&B out there that just needs to be discovered. So, hopefully, one day, like you said, we do have a little hope, and I'd rather just stick with that little hope and work on that, because at least hope is hope. We got the stick in the wedge. So, man. That is so cool, man. Like, you got a lot of talent, man. So
appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
So that being said, I gotta ask you, when we got rappers, they freestyle. Can you give us a little bit of acapella, man?
Oh man, why I knew you. Oh man.
Yeah. I know you say you shy, but
let me see.
This is Mr. TyeSkie. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to put all of his information in the description below.
Tell me what kind of man would treat his woman so cold. Treat you like you're nothing when you're worth more than gold. Girl, to me you're like a diamond. I love the way you shine. $100 million treasures. I give the word to make you mine.
Okay. Yo, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's how you know you're a real R&B artist, bro. I ask anybody else that, they'd be like, "Hey, yo, DJ, turn on the auto-tune, get my mic. I need that special mic in the back." Yeah, man, you really about it, bro. I'm very proud of you, man.
Appreciate it.
Very proud of you. Once again, hand claps all around. Shouts out to Miss Body for putting me on to you, bro.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, man, it is a blessing being on a platform like this and you taking time out of your night to talk to me on my platform, man. Like, I'm definitely gonna support, come out to some of your shows for sure. And it's an honor, more importantly, because I'm talking to somebody who's extremely talented, doing it on his own. And it's like, bro, like, I don't know, man. It's just like,
I appreciate it.
I feel like when you talk to people like yourself, it's just like, why would you give up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, obviously you doing it. Why would I give up? Because you just proved it can happen.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I appreciate you, Mr. TyeSkie. One more time, hand claps all around, man. My dog, man. December 5th, Atlanta, Georgia. Where's it going to be at specifically?
It's going to be at Backstage.
Backstage
Atlanta.
Okay, well, we're going to catch you at Backstage Atlanta. Matter of fact, I might have to take a trip out there. What day of the week is that on? It's on a Sunday?
Yeah, that's a Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, so anybody, if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, you know my Peachtree friends out there, you know what I'm saying? Bankhead, all y'all bougie folks in Bankhead and all that. Make sure to take your ass out the back, what's it called,
Backstage.
Backstage. Take your tail out the backstage. How they say in Atlanta? They be like, you dig. That's like the Atlanta slang, man. I don't know. Right. I'm trying to learn. Right. But yeah, man, Mr. TyeSkie, 1's and 2's podcast. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, take care.
All right. 1, 2.